oh no, I'm about to be fired. However, I wasn't. I was wrong. The meeting was about my weak performance, sure, but it didn't have the outcome I expected. I was told to see a doctor and put on a short-term disability leave. So I walked out of the door. But I didn't know who among my colleagues was the first to put two and two together. They knew ahead of me and put forward the idea that I might have a medical problem. I didn't see it in myself, and neither did my husband or my daughters. I'm sure it took someone with an awareness of the symptoms of dementia to see what was not at all obvious to me. So this is how my journey with dementia began. One day I was working professional, the next I was not. I was only 58 years old, and work was a huge part of my life, something that I was very passionate about, and I had not even thought about retirement or what I would do when my career was over. So it took about 6 months and consultations with a number of specialists before there was even a tentative diagnosis. Were my memory problems due to stress? What about my bouts with depression? My husband told the doctors that I was a workaholic, sometimes still at work until 8 or 9 at night, many hours after everyone else had gone home. Was I bipolar, or could I have had all these things in a brain disease too? So there's who I was. There was no quick diagnosis. The results of a SPECT scan seemed to show some shrinkage in the front of my brain, confirming a tentative diagnosis of frontotemporal dementia. A year ago, a researcher at McMaster University in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, put me through about 5 hours of memory and cognitive testing and concluded I had Alzheimer's disease. A second SPECT scan, about 2 years after the first one, appeared to show an improvement in my brain, so I'm not sure what I had. But it looks like all that luminosity and Mediterranean food really paid off. And I hope you know what luminosity is. It's a game, and I really worked at it, and there I was. The lack of a clear diagnosis is almost a mixed blessing. On the one hand, it suggests that my symptoms were not advanced enough to put me in this box or that one. And it's not like I'm in a race to get to the finish line either. On the other hand, it's difficult not knowing exactly what's wrong. For a long time, and sometimes even now, I find it hard to believe that I even have dementia. In the first 6 months after leaving work, I didn't want anyone to know what I was facing. So of course I didn't tell anyone. And of course, I didn't have a farewell party at work because I could not explain why I had left. I was afraid to tell anyone. And I did not tell my friends. I did not tell my closest family members. Or I did tell my closest family members, but insisted it had to be kept a secret. I pulled it to myself like a turtle. My family respected my wishes, but eventually you realize that you cannot go on pretending that nothing's wrong. And in an effort to cheer me up, my husband took me to see a comedian in a nearby city. He got us front row seats at the theater, which was nice. And in the theater lobby, we ran into a couple who had been working with Mark in the past. I found it difficult to make small talk. And because I'd been stripped of my identity, who was I? I didn't have any answers. But it was a big theater with about 800 seats and a sold-out crowd. And strangely enough, we found ourselves sitting right in the first row with the couple from the lobby. I suppose the comedian was funny. He did a good Sean Connery impression. But about halfway through the show, my mind wandered. And I began thinking about my problems. Without realizing it, I let out a long sigh. Did somebody just groan? Said the person, the actor on the stage. The comedian said to the entire theater as he looked in my direction with a wounded look on his face. And Mark came to my defense by deflecting attention away from me. He smiled and shrugged and pointed to the couple right over there. I learned two things that night. One, it's hard to keep secrets, and two, never sit in the front row. I did have lots of practice telling my story to doctors and nurses, and it must have been on one of those visits that I either picked up or was handed a brochure of the Alzheimer's Society of Wellington Guelph. The brochure described the services and of the society, which included one-to-one support and support groups for those in early stage of dementia, for partners in care, and for friends and family. I called the phone number in the brochure, and a lovely woman named Kit came online, and she came to visit me at my home. We sat at the table, and we talked about our experiences. The brochure had said in big block letters, "You are not alone," and it was true. Kit brought with her a letter that was signed by 7 people. I'd like to read the letter to you. Hello. We are a group of people living with a memory loss. We come together twice a month to visit and to talk about what our lives mean to us. These meetings are only open to people who are experiencing symptoms caused by diseases such as Alzheimer's. We invite you to join us. Talking about our feelings is helpful. Also, information is available. We learn ways we can make days easier for ourselves and our families. Here are some exact quotes from the discussions we had and why this group has helped so much. The group is a source of humor. It is a comfortable place to talk about the memory changes. We can bring out our feelings without embarrassment. It's relaxing. Someone new may feel withdrawn, but always ends up laughing and being part of the group. It's a great release, and we share a common predicament and learn from one another. We are grateful that this group exists for us. So, Kit said she hoped I soon come again. The letter was signed by Gordon, Eric, Beverly, Mose, Wim, Carol, Jennifer, members of the support group nicknamed the Reminders. It was for people in the early stages of dementia, just like me. I joined the group in December 2010. Our group meets 2 times per month, every other week, and I think that's the best part of support that we can provide to each other. In the last 3 years, I've met dozens of people with different types of dementia, faced a variety of challenges in everyday life, and in a sense, my door was now open to a new group of colleagues, peers who are going through the same thing. I look forward to the support, education, and social time and empowerment that I have gained. We talk about the things that are going on in our lives, the happy moments, and the challenges, although we are all people with early onset dementia. There is some continuity, but no group like that is static. New members are warmly welcome, and some of our regulars have switched to other programs. But we still see each other at the groups. Our facilitator has resigned, and now I'm very involved with the Reminders group. I just have my little page. My participation in Alzheimer's Society support group changed my attitude, and that got me into the community. My husband and I joined social groups and have made new friends. And as I gained confidence, I began to share my diagnosis with others. And many of my new friends are older, maybe by 10 or 20 years, but that doesn't matter. They're active, energetic, and like to have fun. I feel that I am accepted. A year and a half ago, my husband Mark and I were invited to participate in a research group developed a curriculum designed for people with early dementia. It's through the University of Waterloo in Ontario, Canada. We belong to what they call a hub, and one of these 3 hubs are across Canada, Vancouver, Thunder Bay, and what? Kitchener, of course, where I live, practically. Okay, the purpose is to give people with dementia and partners in care input into what topics and content are to be covered by the project. The hub, which meets monthly, has been given another opportunity to connect with people, learn about dementia, and make a contribution that will hopefully help others. My attendance at this conference was made possible by the Murray Alzheimer's Research and Education Program at the University of Waterloo. Who invited me here? Well, thank you to Lisa, who is a support on our group. She got me involved, for one thing. And I have one more comment. Before I finish, let me return briefly to the subject of support groups. Really, that's the most important thing there is. Mindful of the fact that I will not have my driver's license forever, I still recognize that by butting up with someone else, you're able to get to the groups. And recently, we just started a new group in a town that's really about 2 miles from where I live. For now, I'm hoping to keep up with both support groups, the one downtown and the one uptown, and I'll hang in with reminders once a month. For anyone thinking about support groups for persons with early onset, take the plunge. Attend the closest one to you, get out there, make new friends, and it really makes a difference.